My name is Mrs. Babalola Abiola. So we have staining technique to demonstrate for Perls Prussian technique. So I'll go in by dewaxing in xylene for 10 minutes. So set my timer. It's for my Perls Prussian staining technique. I've already dewaxed, so I'm just going through with the process. Now, the first thing I'll do is I have here with me 2% potassium ferrocyanide and 2% hydrochloric acid, which I'm going to mix equal volume of each. And I'm going to be mixing it in here. This is a fresh universal bottle, and I have my fresh pipettes here. So I'll use one for the 2% potassium ferrocyanide, equal volume. Because I don't need up to this, I'm going to decant. I have just one slide that I'm staining. So I have 1 ml of my potassium ferrocyanide. Cover my reagents, put it aside, and use the second pipette, which I've not used before, to pick my 2% hydrochloric acid. I'm doing 1 ml as well for this. So I put both of them here. Immediately I cover this and I put it aside. All I'm doing is mixing the two reagents before applying on my slide. Now I bring it here and gently flood my slide with that solution. This is supposed to be for 30 minutes. So we'll stain for 30 minutes. And while staining, you check your slide that your stain has not run off your slide or it is not dry your slide. If your stain are run off your slide or it's getting dry, you apply fresh one. So that means you need to prepare enough for you to use for that 30 minutes. So it's 30 minutes already, and I'm stopping my timer, and at the same time tipping off my stain. Now I'm going to be washing this slide in several changes of water. I've discarded out water. I'm taking fresh water. Now what I'm going to do next is to counter stain with neutral red. 1% neutral red is my counter stain. I'm not using eosin this time around. I'm using 1% neutral red. So I'm working this gently so that it doesn't spill on me. I don't have a pipette for this, so I'm using the cap as my applicator, and I'm flooding my slide with my neutral red solution for 5 minutes. So my neutral red solution is a counter stain that I'm using. I'm flooding my slide for 5 minutes to counter stain. And I'm putting my reagent aside. So I have in here fresh distilled water. So it's 5 minutes. I'm tipping off my stain and rinsing in distilled water. I'm rinsing in distilled water. So I'm done rinsing. Now what I do is I dehydrate. Just the way we dehydrated for H&E, I'm going to be dehydrating this as well. First in 70% alcohol. I won't stay too long in there so as not to wash off my counter stain, which is the 1% neutral red. I go into 80% alcohol. I drain. I go into 95% alcohol. I drain. Finally, I go into my 100% alcohol, which is my IPA. I drain properly and back to xylene. I clear properly in xylene. Clearing in xylene is the removal of alcohol. So I need to remove the alcohol from this slide before I can mount it. And I'm draining in my xylene trough so that I don't drop xylene all over the place. And that is that. So I come to my mounting bench and I'm mounting with DPX. This is my mountant. DPX is a xylene based mountant. So what I do first is I dip my slide in xylene. I drain a little bit. I carefully and gently wipe off the back of my slide, not the surface where I have the tissue section. Then I'm going to be dropping just a bit on that portion where I have my tissue section. That's enough. Then I'll cover with cover slip. In the first video where we did H&E, I mounted this, placing the cover slip directly over the slide, but I said there's another method, and this is that method. Just a minute, I'll be showing us how we do that now. So I have my cover slip here, well placed, my mountant on the tissue section, and I'm going to be doing this. I'm inverting my slide over now. I've mounted this. If this is not aligned enough to cover my section, I just align it a bit. So that's the second method of mounting your slide. Thank you very much for this, for waiting till this point. Wish you all the best in your exams. Thank you.